So, very good morning to all. I start today's day two with a note of positivity. It says, if you want to achieve excellence, you can get it here today. As of this second, just quit doing nothing less than excellence. With these words, I welcome you all to the second day of this 3-day National International Virtual Conference on Teaching, Learning and Education, jointly organized by Government College of Education, Canal Road, Jammu, State Islamic Institute, Madura, Indonesia, Vistas Mumida Sindarang Repang, Indonesia, Al Vistas El Agreg, Mandar, Indonesia, Cape Comorin Trust, India, Lavender Literary Club, in association with Cape Comorin Publisher. So, I once again welcome you all to this conference, the day two. Now, over to you, Ravinder, for further proceedings.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a beautiful start with such a beautiful and beautiful quote full of positivity. Thank you so much. And I think it's an honor in itself to honor such a beautiful audience and with beautiful smiles on their face in the very beautiful morning. So welcome you all. So as you all know that yesterday we had a beautiful time together with some wonderful and the learned personalities of all over the world. So we discussed, in various plenary sessions and various technical sessions, the diverse areas of the teaching, learning, and the education, and we touched nearly all aspects of the teaching learning process. So we expect the same thing today with in a very enthusiastic way. We are launching for such wonderful papers, presenters, and the speakers. So all the very best to all the presenters and the speakers. So here we start the second day of the 3-day international virtual conference on teaching, learning, and education. I welcome you all once again. So let us begin the second day of this conference with the very first plenary session of today, but in the schedule, the plenary session number 5. And the speaker for the plenary session number 5, we have with us Dr. Chris T. Zeta, sir, head of the English department, Dr. Vaughn A. Pastor, MNIS, Department of Education, Patnasgus, Philippines. For him, I would like to say that Dr. Chris Tizeta is a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in the English at Gegua National Colleges as an academic scholar. He finished his Masters of Arts in Education, major in Administration and Supervision with academic excellence. He had completed his diploma in English language and literature. He has been the resource person for various conferences on the national and international level, and he has presented many books, many articles, and has authored many books, you know. And with these words, may I please request Dr. Chris Tizeta to be on the screen to grace the occasion with his divine presence. Over to you, sir.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are very much audible. Yeah.
Okay, so again, good morning to one and all, especially in your place, but it's good afternoon here in the Philippines. I hope everyone is safe at home and be able to share whatever we can, especially now that we are in this pandemic. Even though when we are in this pandemic, we know that we can still
There's some technical issue. We'll wait for Sir to join us back.
Till Sir joins again, let us see what is the basic idea behind this conference. And about this conference, education is globally acknowledged as the most powerful means of empowering human. This conference explores the areas of early childhood education, public education policy, machine learning, theory, and practice of physical education development, teaching and learning. The aim of this conference is to bring out the recent innovation trends and concerns, as well as the practical challenges encountered and solution adopted in the field of teaching, learning, and education. The various topic and the related areas that have been covered in this conference are teaching, technology, integration, creative teaching methods, multilingualism, innovations in education, raising scientific literacy, educational games as a learning method, learning and teaching through arts, extracurricular activities, English as a second language, English as a foreign language, vocational training, employability issues, alternative ways of teaching, team teaching, and interdisciplinary integration, psychology, discourse analysis, e-learning initiatives, e-content, adaptation to new technologies, and many more. And we wish that uh, will get so much benefited with all the paper that are going to be presented in today's second day of this conference.
So, Ravinder, in continuation of what you have said, the importance of this conference, it is very true that yesterday the papers were very, very, very wonderful. And you were there since morning, and you know it. You were there, and ma'am, Dr. Sushma Chauhan was there, Dr. Shubhra Jambal was there. Then another girl I remember who was continuously there, Nana Kapoor was. I could see her throughout the day actively sitting there. So, and you know that I have been jotting down everything, whatever I could learn. Even right now, also, I have this pen and a page handy with me to see what I could learn and all the doubts which I could clear. The most, I feel the very paper which touched me some paper touched us because we have never learned or thought like that way. Right, Sushma ma'am? One was the music paper, that the impact of music in learning, and then the importance of
Yeah,
yoga in
ma'am.
education.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Right, yeah, yoga in education. So I was very glad that people are doing research from that perspective also. So it gave a very new insight, and rather it's like a support system. Now there are different types of support system in hospital we see, but oxygen is very prime important one and very dependable. So similarly, I believe that the yoga system, the yoga particularly, is the support system like oxygen. Though it is a support system, but very, very important. I think that Shubhra will also agree with me on that. Right, Shubhra?
Yes, yes. I'm sorry, I was just connecting with Dr. Regin, and the resource person will be joining us. As all of us are aware of the networking, I think it is
Yeah.
not just in J&K or in India itself, but it's in abroad also. The same problem continues everywhere throughout the world.
I
Yeah.
would like to say something to, especially to Abhimanyu sir.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
in real sense, Abhimanyu sir, this is a special compliment to you
Oh, wow.
because
Thank you.
even I have learnt yesterday from you a lot. Like I have attended a number of conferences, a number of webinars, but you have that passion and enthusiasm. Like Sushma ma'am has even also given you a very beautiful compliment that you are just behaving like a student. And I think we should, even as a teacher, if we have this type of passion, na, even then we can learn.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah, very true.
So
Thank you, ma'am.
even you are the real backbone, I think, in this conference. I have even this discussed with Shubhra also, because even you are motivating we people also.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
So
ma'am. It's a very huge
it's
compliment.
it's really very inspirational, sir. I mean it.
Thank you, ma'am. That you made
I
my
have a,
day. I will.
I
Yeah.
have a relevant quote what Sushma ma'am said to Abhimanyu sir. So it goes like this: anyone who stops learning is old. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20s or 80s. Anyone who keeps learning stays young every day and every time.
Very
Wow.
nice, very nice, very nice.
So I
Beautiful.
Really.
think the quote, especially, goes to Abhimanyu sir and to
Exactly.
everybody.
Now I know how to be young every day. I won't be getting old now.
Actually, Abhimanyu sir, unless and until we as a teacher, even if we don't have this passion, we can't learn. Even
Yes,
we
ma'am.
can't become a teacher. I think so. This is my opinion.
Yes.
So we should always be ready, like you, to learn, to discuss. This is a very, unique feature.
Ma'am, this is what I was talking with my mother. My mother was also chairperson yesterday, Professor Neeta.
Okay, okay. Then
Yeah.
special namaste to her again from my
Sure,
side.
ma'am. Sure, ma'am. So I was just discussing with her that today we have mobile, TV, 4G network, and laptops, and so many online classes and virtual things going on. There is no actually there is no stoppage in life. Practically,
Exactly.
there is no stoppage in life. We are still moving ahead, though sitting at one place. Imagine in 1920 when there was this Spanish flu, and 1820 when there was that plague. Every 1720 there was some I think disease was the cholera was there. In 1920 1820 it was plague was there. In 1920 it was Spanish flu. So in 2020 we have corona. So every 100 years there is something happening in the nature. So I just imagine the life of those people. They have no internet, nothing. Their life
Yeah,
was
we
stuck
could we
for
could see there were pictures also on internet,
yes.
of that Spanish flu in 1920. So
Yes,
same
they
thing and same situation was there at that time, 100 years.
exactly. We were wearing masks, and we are also wearing masks and everything. Today, the world is transportation and communication is so fast. Imagine 100 years or 200 years ago, how people would have, you see, they would have dealt with it. Today, we can talk over the phone. That there was no phone. The depression is that is why. I mean, still people were not getting depressed then. Still there was so much to do. We are very thankful to this technology that we are learning and moving ahead in life. And even I feel Sushma ma'am and Shubhra and Ravinder that very lucky that we are in the age that where we can learn even by sitting at homes also.
Yeah, very true.
You know, so particularly thanks to Dr. Regin, who has not been keeping well for a long time now. Um, though we were suspecting him to be corona positive, but by the grace of God, he is not. Even in his illness, he is sitting there and providing us all the support, and his presence is itself is a huge encouragement to the entire organizers or the team of organizers. because I have been associated with Dr. Regin for quite some time, and with Shubhra we have been doing lots of things. So both of them are
So
very
Cape
good support.
Comorin, I would just like to add to Abhimanyu's word because Cape Comorin Trust started doing conferences during this time, and almost a year now they have done 8 FTPs and 12 conferences. Beside that, small programs also. So just during this year of pandemic, I mean the year from
Yeah, and luckily,
2020.
Shubhra, I think I was almost associated with most of the things.
Yes, yes, yes. Of
And
course, you're
you and I, both of us were associated in most of the things. So we also thank Dr. Regin for doing such things also. So what
yes.
happened? What did he say about the resource person?
Yeah, there's some technical issues. He's joining us.
Okay, okay, no problem.
So we have no option just to wait for our technical
Yeah,
glitch to be over.
yes, yes.
Till the resource person joins, so let me take the privilege to welcome our worthy professors from our college because they were there also yesterday, but um I could not welcome them on the right time. So let me take the privilege now. So I would like to welcome Professor Rajinder Kaur, ma'am. She was there also till the end yesterday also. I welcome you, ma'am. Professor Vinay Lata, ma'am, is also there. I welcome you too, ma'am.
Thank you,
And
Ravinder. Thank you so much.
thank you for gracing the occasion, ma'am.
Okay.
And Dr. Jyoti Pariyar ma'am was also there yesterday. I welcome her in absentia also for tomorrow. And I think many more professors were there yesterday and today also. So I welcome you all from the core of my heart. I welcome you all. And I also welcome all the NSS volunteers, all the guest speakers and paper presenters who are here to bring laurels to them. I welcome you all.
So Ravinder, what I suggest is our next resource person, our plenary speaker from Bangladesh, Amir sir has joined us. So if you
Oh, great.
can introduce him and we can have that session little early. And in the meantime, sir will
Okay,
join.
ma'am.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, as said by ma'am, so let us move to the next plenary session, that is plenary session number 6. And the resource person for this plenary session, we have with us Muhammad Amir Hussain, sir, Assistant Professor, Department of English, IBAIS University, Bangladesh. He is an eminent personality in the field of literature and the English language. Uh, he has presented many papers in various conferences at the international and national level. He has authored many books and has been invited as, resource person in various programs and events. So, with these words, may I please welcome Muhammad Amir Hussain, sir, on the screen, please. Over to you, sir. Welcome.
Sir, please unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself, sir. So you are not audible, sir. You unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, yeah. Now are you hearing me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. I would like to thanks organizing committee of today's conference on 3 days international virtual conference on teaching and learning educations organized by Gov College of Education and State Islamic Institute, Indonesia, University of Muhammadiyah, Sudan ranks, and other institutions jointly organized this 3 days conference on teaching, learning, and educations. And I'm Mohammed Amir Hussain from Bangladesh, and I'm an teaching as an assistant professor in the Department of English, Ibais University, Dhaka, Bangladesh, and also I'm doing PhD in comparative study at in English department at Jahangirnagar University, Bangladesh. My plenary speech title is uh, assessing prospects of sustainable development for education in Bangladesh, global education perspective. perspectives. And my paper presentation outlines that I have prepared for today's international conference: sustainable development for education's Bangladesh education system, models of education for sustainable development, teaching and learning strategies, curriculum, lesson plan, syllabus design, teachers' performance, students' performance, global education policy and practice, and data collection process. Through these outlines, I would like to deliver my speech on sustainable development for education in Bangladesh education system and global education perspectives. First point, I would like to share with you what is sustainable development for educations. And with a rapid populations of 4 million people and limited natural resources, we as individuals and societies need to learn to live together sustainably. We need to take actions responsibly and based on the understanding of what we do today and can have implications on the lives of peoples and the uh, global in future. Education for sustainable development empowers people to change the way they think and works towards a sustainable future. UNESCO aims to improve access to quality education on sustainable development at all levels and in all social contexts to transform society by reorienting education and help people develop knowledge, skills, values, behaviors needed for sustainable development. It is about including sustainable development issues such as climate change, biodiversity into teaching and learning. Individuals are encouraged to be responsible actors who resolve the challenges, respect cultural diversity, contribute to creating a more sustainable world. There are some basic elements that influence the quality of educations. The teachers and teaching methods. The teacher is perhaps the most important factors in the quality of educations. Educational content, learning environment, academic management, preconditions for the students and teachers, funding, funding supports, and the organizations for the teachers and students here. Moreover, there are three core elements of sustainable development for education. These core three elements include economic growth, social inclusions, environmental protections. It is crucial to harmonize them. Sustainable economic growth, achieving sustainable livelihoods, living in harmony with nature, and appropriate technology are important for sustainable development. The question is that if we would like to develop the quality education, we cannot imagine our existence without technology. We must apply the practical use of technology and multimedia projector in education, especially for the 21st century younger generations. Uh, Tertiary levels or primary level, secondary level, in all levels. So technology and multimedia projector teaching and learning are one of the most important factors for sustainable development. And of course, if we want to develop, if we want to sustain, if we want to sustain education uh, uh, at all levels in any country, not in Bangladesh and also in other country, especially sustainable development for education is the most important factor for the developing countries, including Bangladesh and India. So we must create education environment, and we must manage academic process for the teachers and students. We must take precautionary steps for the students and the teachers for sustainable development for education. We must provide funding supports, and we must organize these kinds of supports, facilities, financial supports for the poor students and for the poor teachers. If we provide funding supports for the younger students, tertiary or secondary, higher secondary, for any levels, so our students and teachers obviously can develop their education for learning and teaching process. And so, in this regard, we as teachers or the students must take initiatives how we can sustain our education uh, and develop for the teaching or learning process among the teachers, students, and other sectors. Next point I would like to mention: Bangladesh education system. What is Bangladesh education system in 21st century? There are several levels: PSC levels, GSC level, SSC levels, diploma in engineering, undergraduate, and graduate levels MPhil, PhD, Dakhil, Fazil, Kamil, and vocational education. First one I would like to share with you. What is PSC? Primary school certificate. This level starts with class 1 to 5. There are boys and students. Their age limit is 6 to 10 years, and in this level, 6 to 10 years, boys and girls have to study within 5 years times. After they will have to study in this PSC level 5 years, and after then they will get admitted into GSC level, that is junior school certificate, and this level starts with class 6 to 8.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Little
yes,
echo is coming. If you can just keep your mic little far.
yes, yes, yes.
Uh, yes, that's better, I think. A bit of echo is coming.
Okay, 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 okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And this class is age limit 11 to 13 years, and they have to study in this process 3 years times. Next, secondary school certificates, and this class starts with class 9 to 10, and their age limit is 14 to 15 years, and they have to study in this level 3 years times. And next level, higher secondary level, and this level starts with class 11 to 12, and their age limit is 16 to 17 years. 16 to 17 years, and they have to study in this level 2 years times. And diploma in engineering, this level consisting of 4 years times. After completion SSC examination, they have to study in diploma in engineering in Bangladesh. And undergraduate level, you know that, and this level consisting of 3 to 4 years times, that is pass course, general degree, or BA on arts, MA BA on arts, MA this level on honors, 4 years system. And a graduate level consisting of 1 to 2 years times. And MPhil program consisting of 2 years, and PhD program consisting of 3 to 5 years, and Dakhil. And there are other levels in Bangladesh: Dakhil, Fazil, and Kamil, and vocational education. These are the education system in Bangladesh at present in our country. Next point, and models of education for sustainable development. And what is models? There are 3 models I have selected for this paper: education for sustainable development. Education is a lifelong process for the betterment of human well-being. Education for sustainable development is fundamentally about the links between the awareness of the human as a whole in the nature, and it's supporting social systems and the health of the planet as we inhabit, with responsibilities of the present and future world. As such, then, education is key to any sustainable development programs. Education should be recognized as a process for which human beings and societies can reach their fullest potential. Education is crucial for promoting sustainable development and improving the capacity of the students to address the environment and the development issues. And how can education play an important role in promoting sustainable development? There are different theories that have been used implicitly and explicitly. And answering these questions, we can group them into 3 main models. First model, education about sustainable development. Model 2, education for sustainable development. Model 3, critical education towards sustainable development. And education about sustainable development dominates many approaches to sustainability, but it is widely seen as ineffective, albeit many education institutions have incorporated green permeables. This was not sufficient to allow principles of sustainable development to live keep imprints of education as such on how educational institutions being run. Second, education for sustainable development is about practicals and contextualized learning in how to live a better life and to care for the present and future of the globes. Many commentators appear to see such a model as a close relative of the model 1. According to our data, this is to overlook the power of a good or bad examples on how the way learners behave. Education about sustainable development provides awareness, which generates changes in attitudes and then in behavior. The second model, education for sustainable development, focuses on actions which change attitudes and build awareness for lives, and then so develop lifelong practice. This third model, critical education towards sustainable development, emphasizes generating knowledge through critical actions and the development of active active and critical citizenship. And these are the most important models for which we can sustain our education for the teachers and students. Next point, teaching and learning strategies. There are most important points that I would like to share with you. And the interactive teaching and learning strategies described in my paper are used to engage students and teachers in education for sustainable development. Teaching and learning strategies are included in the bold text in learning the activities. Teachers should refer to the resources for an explanation of the purpose and how to implement the strategies for the teaching and learning process with the students in the classroom. Of course, the students must use personal and social capability to work collaboratively with the teachers and or their classmates in learning activities or in the classroom to appreciate their own strengths and abilities and those of their peers and develop a range of the interpersonal skills such as communications, negotiations, teamwork, leadership, and the appreciation of diverse perspectives. While a student learns any lesson from the teachers in the class, they need they need to create they need to have communication. They need to negotiate with their classmates. They create teamworks. They create leadership. And if the students uh, they create these skills in the among the teachers and students, obviously teaching learning strategies would be implemented among the teachers and students so far as I know. So there are some most important factors that I can want to mention with the first one, visualization.
Amit sir,
Visualization.
excuse me, sir. Sorry
Yes.
to interrupt you. Sir,
Yeah.
actually, your mic is very close to your mouth, and a hissing sound is coming.
Okay.
And
Okay.
there is very
Now
much of.
are you clear?
So
Are you clear now?
can you
Are,
please drop your mic, so that it can, create a beautiful sound. Yeah.
are, you, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. Your voice is clearly audible now.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And visualizations. Visualization bring the academic concepts to life with the visual and practical learning experiences, helping our students to understand how their schooling applies in the real world situation. So, visualization is one of the most important factor for teaching and learning strategy. So, the students, teachers must visualize any kinds of objects while the teachers teach the students in the class. So visualization helps us that or the teachers uh, to take a broad view of the lesson in the classroom. Another point, cooperative learning. Cooperative learning is one of the most important factors for sustainable development for education. So we must cooperate while we teaching and learning in the class among the teachers or among the students at any level. So cooperative learning, so far I think cooperative learning and the visualization are the most important elements for teaching and learning strategy. Another point I want to share with you, that is inquiry-based instructions. So we have to instruct the students in the classroom in such a way that the aim of the teacher is to motivate their students very spontaneously, very clearly. And while the teacher discuss on any topic in the class, his aim is to make the student understand in such a way, in a very easy process. Easy process and simple process are the most important points for teaching and learning process. So as a teacher, we should not discuss on any topic in a difficult process. So we should discuss in a very easy process to make the student understand what I'm teaching or what I'm trying to make the students understand about my lesson. So in this in this process, so cooperative environment and instructive based issues should be initiative to discuss on any point in the classroom activities among the teachers and students. Another point, differentiation. Differentiatives are our teaching by allocating tasks based on students' abilities to ensure no one gets left behind. So, as a teacher, I think that while we discuss on any points or on any syllabus or on any chapter or on any articles or on any kind of topics while we discuss in the class. So we have to, as a teacher, we must try to find out the capabilities or the abilities of the teachers. What is the weakness of the students? What is the weakness where the students are not able to understand on any kind of lessons that the teacher are discussing in the class? It is the duty of the teachers to find out the weakness of the teachers or his incapabilities where the students do not understand about the lecture. So I think that as a teachers, it is our moral duty to find out the faults or the weakness of our students whenever any students are not able to understand on any topic. So these sorts of problem uh, 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 should be done by the teachers on any topic while teaching in the class. Another point, technology or technology in the classroom. So we are living in the third world countries. So we have no ample technological system in the or multimedia projector in the classroom teaching and learning. So say for example, I can discuss in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a third world country, as you know that. So there are many shortage of technological or multimedia projectors, especially in the primary level or school level or secondary level or madrasa level. If I want to share with you about madrasa, dakhil level, fazil level, kamil or vocational level, no teachers in the class use technology or multimedia projector. Actually, the problem is that they do not know how to use multimedia projector in the class. So there are lots of students are deprived of multimedia projector teaching and learning strategy or technological system or scientific system. But if we look at European country or neighboring country like India, there are teachers using multimedia projector in the class while they teach or they discuss on any topics. But on the contrary, if we discuss about our Bangladesh education system, especially primary, GSC, SSC, HSC, Dakhil or Madrasa level or vocational level, no teachers are using a multimedia projector in the class right now. So as a teachers, we should try to we should try our level based how to use multimedia projector teaching and learning system. So if we use, this is the coronavirus crisis situation, multimedia projector teaching or the Zoom teaching is the most important point. So it is physical participation and physical class taking tendency. There is no environment all over the world, third world country, global south or European or Middle East. This coronavirus crisis situation. So we must depend on virtual teaching. So in this process, it is the most important point. So we have to maintain social distancing. Since we have to maintain social distancing, so multimedia projector teaching and learning and Zoom teaching or virtual teaching are the most important factors right now if we develop our or sustain education, sustainable development for education. This multimedia projector teaching or Zoom teaching are the most important factors right now. Any other point, behavioral management. So it is the duty of the teachers how to behave in the class or beyond the class. So if any teacher wants to take steps, pragmatic steps, how to behave in the class or beyond, how to behave with the colleagues or the family members or the friend circles or any other points. So this process should be developed from the educational institutions so far as now. And it is the duty of the teachers to motivate their students or to inspire the students to behave very friendly manner. So friendly environment and cooperative environment must be created in the academic level. If we are, if we fail to create friendly environment in the classroom, in classroom activities, so our students fall apart from the social social behavior or social behavior, and they may get involved into anti-social activities. So the teachers must motivate the students how to behave frankly and cooperatively. It is the moral duty of the teachers to teach the students about behavioral management. Another point, in professional development and career-oriented teaching policy So we should teach our students based on real life situation, or career oriented teaching policy and practice must be created in the class. So after completion their graduation or undergraduation, the students must seek jobs for real life situation to lead a better life. If the teacher discuss about career oriented concerns, how to get a good job, how to go to study for scholarship with taking scholarships, if the teacher discuss uh, in the class in front of the students career oriented or professional development process, the students can how to study, how to take preparation for getting a good job. And these kinds of professional development concerns and career oriented technology teaching policy and practice must be created at the educational level among the teachers and students. And so I think that teaching and learning process, of course, are the most important factor under professional development and career oriented teaching and learning process. So it is the duty of the teachers to develop such kind of strategy among for the students so that they can go to the higher level in course of times. Another point, curriculum, lesson plan, and syllabus design. Curriculum is, of course, you know that standards-based sequence of planned experiences where students practice and achieve proficiency in content and applied learning skills. Curriculum is the central guides for all the teachers to what is essential for teaching and learning so that every student can have access to rigorous academic experiences. On the other hand, lesson plan is teachers' detailed descriptions of the course, of the instructions or learning trajectory for a license. A detailed lesson plan is developed by teachers to guide to class learning. Details will vary depending on the preference of the teachers, subject-based covers and the needs of the students. There are maybe requirements mandated by the system regarding the plans. A lesson plan is the teacher's guide for running a particular license, and it includes the goal what the students are supposed to learn. Now, how the goal will be reached and the methods and procedures, a vary of measuring how will the goal was reached, test worksheets and homeworks, supplementary works must be provided through lesson plan. And syllabus designs mainly provides detailed educations of the process of designing a syllabus as one of the systematic steps of curriculum. Development in language teachings according to Newman. Syllabus design is to elect or to organize teaching materials including selection and grading of the contents, while syllabus design refers to the process of developing a syllabus. The syllabus and curriculum are two different terms that are closely related in teaching and learning process. Curriculum is a broader concept that includes all the activities in which students can perform. A syllabus is an outline and summary of topics to be covered in the course. On the other hand, a lesson plan is to teachers' detailed description of the course of the instructions for an individual lessons. A detailed lesson plan is developed by the teachers to guide class instructions. So these are the most important factors: curriculum, lesson plan, and syllabus design for sustainable education development. So lesson plan, it is the duty of the teachers to prepare a lesson plan in such a way. So lesson plan must be matched with the examination. So, so we teach the lesson in such a way that we can complete the whole lesson before the examination, and we can revise. We can revise and we can take examination based on the lesson that we have already discussed in the previous class. So syllabus design. So syllabus must be designed in such a way that we can complete before the exam. So our students can realize about lesson plan, syllabus design, and curriculum. So it is the duty of the government to prepare curriculum or textbook boards of the government and education specialist. It is their duty to prepare curriculum in such a way that but the big lesson plan or big curriculum, it is absolutely impossible for the teacher to discuss elaborately or to complete the whole lesson or the syllabus within a very short time. So based on that time constraint, so we must keep our lesson and syllabus so that we can complete before the exam, and we can take exam, and the students in easy process syllabus design, a real life situation or career oriented syllabus design must be prepared. So we should prepare such kind of syllabus or such kind of lesson plan that our students can properly benefit it in future time. Next point, teachers' performance. A teacher's demonstrated impacts on the students' learning as established through students' achievements test scores, observed pedagogical practices or employers or the students' survey. There are two of the most widely used measures of the teacher's effectiveness: value-added models and classroom observations. Which should be discussed than other methods: principal evaluations, analysis of the classroom artifacts, portfolios, and self-reports of the practice. And student evaluations need to be examined between the teachers and students in the classroom. Teachers should use various teaching strategies appropriate to the students' level. They should link the lessons with the previous works, and they will vary our activities, and they will give the students a purpose or the reasons or objectives and why they are going to do any activity. The teacher's performance appraisal system provides the teachers with meaningful appraisals that encourage the professional learning and growth. The process is designed to foster the students' development and identify opportunity for additional support where required for teaching and learning and sustainable development for education. There are most 10 qualities of an effective teacher. Teachers might be positive. Teachers must be positive, and they must try to keep our students engaged with the positive attitudes. So positive mind, positive sensibility, positive mentality, positive thinking power capability must be created in education level. So prepared, we should know the course material. So course material must be prepared before taking the class or before starting the examinations for any levels. Organized, we should have a plan for what we want to teach. Previous plan, we must take previous plan before teaching anything among the students in the class. Pre-preparation must be created among the teachers. So without preparation, without taking pre-preparation, it is impossible for the teachers to discuss clearly, to discuss elaborately with illustrations or with example among the students. So I think that pre-preparation is a must for the teachers to discuss on any topics in the classroom. Another point, clear. Effective teachers can explain complex ideas in a very simple way. Complex lesson plans, complex subjects, or complex points or complex topics must be or need to be discussed in a very clear-cut way. So complex ideas should be discussed in a very easy process, in a very simple process, based on the weaker students. There are many weaker students in the class. What the teachers are discussing on any topics, the poor students or the weaker students cannot understand anything. What the teachers are saying in the class, it is beyond the capability of the poor students. So we must consider the capabilities and the abilities of the poor students. What sorts of lesson, what sorts of topics should be discussed in the class based on the simple process. So simple ideas, simple language, simple words, simple sentences, simple phrases should be used in the class, thinking or considering the weaker students in the class. So clear-cut lesson, clear-cut discussion, and apparent discussion should be created in the class. So far as I know, or so far as I gathered experience in my teaching and professional life. Active. Of course, I think that teachers must be active. Active. If the teachers are not active, how he can develop his career, how he can develop his experience. So if we need to develop our experience, if we need to develop our teaching performance, teaching power capability, we must be active and punctual and time-oriented, punctual, time-oriented, and activity. So we must punctuality and discipline must be created among our students and teachers. We must motivate our students how to be active, how to be punctual, how to be disciplined way. So this kind of punctuality, activity, and discipline process must be created in the educational environment. And patent or quiet. So patents is one of the most important one. Patents. Without patents, we cannot. We must not be excited while teaching any kind of teaching. So we reserve patents. So we discuss the points on a little bit, in a very silent process or very quiet process based on the. But we should not use speak loudly in the class. It is not the moral attitudes of a good teacher to discuss loudly. So we should discuss on any topic in such a way, uh, based on the audience, based on the teachers or the students, those who are yeah, those who will be present in the class or any time. So I think that patents is most important point for teachers' performance. It is one of the most important point. And another point, free and fair. So free and fair environment, free and fair mind, free and fair environment, and free and fair mind need to be created in the classroom. So, and this free and fair discussion should be spontaneous, need to be spontaneous among our teachers and students, so far as I think. Another point that I have already discussed, multimedia projector, I have already discussed it, so I think that it should not be discussed right now. Another point, next slide, students' performance. Students' performance, academic performance involves meeting goals, achievements, and objectives or aims set in the programs or the course or the lesson plans that the students attend. They are expressed through the grades, which are the results of an assessment or evaluation that involves a passing or not certain test, subjects, or course. To assist with our reporting periods, we have outlined 10 helpful tips. I have prepared 10 important tips for writing students' reports. First one, ease of understanding, stick to the points, avoid teachers' jargon, inform parents about their children's level of achievements.
So
Prepare
we
to
request
discuss
you to please
ongoing
wind up.
performance. Yeah.
Our next speaker is waiting.
Okay, and you should support the comments. And there are 5 tips to increase students' performance, aligns instructions to learning standards, and includes formative assessments. And includes formative assessments and provide consistent feedbacks and use the feedbacks by group concerts and self-access regulatory. And another finds global education policy and practice. This is one of the most important point. Global education policy and practice suggests that the purpose of our education is primarily to feed the populations of a nation with the skills they need to allow the nations to operate in the global economic system. Global education helps develop awareness of our students' identity, culture, beliefs, and how those connect with the wider world. Social awareness, including empathy, perspective taking, appreciating diversity, respecting others, and relationship building skills with the diverse individuals and groups through effective steps. And there are 10 popular educational trends and what we need to know. Self-care due to the COVID-19 pandemics and other world events, teachers and students may all be overwhelmed than ever. Blended learnings, personalized learning, STEAM curriculums, Genius Hour, home-based teaching and learning, virtual class system, and social emotional learning. And so this global education policy and practice must be created or implemented in learning environments. Next point, global education policy and practice. The effects of global education policy and practice brings faster developments in the technology and communications, which are forcing changes with education systems across the world as ideas, values, knowledge, and changing the roles of the students and teachers, and producing the shift in society from industrialization towards information. So there are the following main problems that faced in the progress of the education. First one, lack of funds. Expensive higher education, problems of the brain drain, mass illiteracy, wastage of resources, general education oriented, problems with education systems. And the last point, to prepare this lesson, I have collected some data from my libraries, books, journals, and monographs, report thesis, articles, newspapers, magazines. So this is the end of my discussion, and my thanks goes to Dr. Regen Sylvest. Without his support, it is quite impossible for me to deliver my speech on my topic. So my thanks goes to the organizing committee of today's conference. Thank you very much for your time and for your attention. Thank you, everybody. This is the end of my discussion.
Thank you so much, Amir Hussain sir, for such a wonderful lecture.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.
Now the house is open for the discussion, and uh, any question from the audience side they can ask.
Yes, I have a couple of questions from the sir. But Amir sir, before I
Yeah,
go for the questions,
yeah,
I have certain areas of disagreement with the points that you have spoken.
yeah,
So let us talk about those so that my doubts can be clarified in that.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, Out of 36 years of my life, I am 36 years old. I
yeah,
have around 15 years of experience into teaching. I started teaching at a very young age. So,
yeah,
from that experience and technical and professional training into teaching, um, I do not able to understand that why it is the moral duty of the teacher to develop the moral values in the student. The moral values can only be developed at the home by the parents. There
yes,
are so many students that we teach and train, and eventually some of them become doctors and lawyers, and some of them may become corrupt government officials. So
yes,
here the
yes,
teacher
yes,
cannot be credited for the development of the moral character. Secondly, you talked about the teacher, what teacher should do in depth. However, there was no what the points that should be done to even train the teacher to deliver such highly expectation training.
yes,
So this is what I want to know.
yes.
What are the steps to be taken for to train the teacher? If you are talking in length about the high performance of the teachers, what should be
Yes.
done for the teachers so that they are capable enough to deliver such kind of expectations?
Yes, to develop the teachers' capabilities and teaching and learning strategy, and essentially, I think that teachers need training courses. Hello, are you
Mhm,
there?
mhm,
Hello, hello.
mhm. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. And what is your point? Would you tell me again your what is your question? What is your question?
My point is, in your session, you talk that teachers should do this, teachers should do that, and that is, teachers should give good teaching in the schools. What should be done, or what training should be given to the teachers so that they can give or become good teachers in the school?
Yes, to become a good teacher in the school, that is, I mean, I'm discussing about uh, uh, PSC level, SSC, that is secondary and higher secondary level.
Okay.
Secondary and higher secondary level in Bangladesh situation, I have been also teaching more than since 2003. Since 2003, I have been teaching students, and I have taught school, I have taught colleges, I have taught uh, Bangladesh Open University, and now I'm teaching uh, two private university and one medical college in Bangladesh. Now I'm a private university English teacher. I have also a long time experience, but my question is that in Bangladesh perspective, if we discuss, especially school teacher, college teacher, they they don't have any training course. They do not know. They are not interested to take training course from the higher authorities, from the education specialist. The question is that if the teachers if the teachers do not take training course or do not know how to develop lesson plan, how to develop curriculum, how to develop syllabus design, is it possible for the school teachers or the college teachers to teach the students in a very career-oriented process or the real-life situation? If the teachers have no idea about training course, how it is possible for the teachers to teach the students in the secondary or higher secondary or primary or junior level. So, in this concern, I think that my suggestion, especially for the Bangladeshi school and college teachers, if if they want to develop their teaching capability and teaching performance in class, I think that they must take training course, or they must uh, they must need guide or help from the government or the of the education board of the Bangladesh, or other sources. Another point in this session, I would like to mention another issue based on your question. But the most problem we are facing, even in the university teachers, or government college or non-government college and school and question are far away concern. School and college, the teachers of Bangladesh, they do not participate in the symposium, conference, mini talks, international organization. They do not participate in international conference. How it is possible for the teachers to develop if we do not participate in the international conference, international symposium, international talks? Is it possible for the teachers to teach our students in a very good process? Obviously not. So I suggest my teachers in the Bangladesh perspective, they should participate in the conferences, especially national or international level. This is my suggestion. Thank you for
Okay, now last question I have. This is the last question I would like to ask you.
Yeah.
That you said that teacher, it is morally improper. You use this word, morally improper, for the teacher to speak loudly in the class. But if we have a class of 80 students, or even it is the personal choice of people to speak loudly, because like we have lots of people from Punjab who have the general tendency of speaking louder. The Pahari people of Jammu, they also speak very louder. So it is a geographical and cultural thing. How can it will be morally improper for a teacher to speak loudly, especially when the class is of 60, 70, 80 people? If you are not audible enough, the teacher student is not able to listen to you, and if the student is not able to listen to you, there is lack of interest. You use the word morally improper. I would like to how is morally improper?
No. My question is that here, morality is another issue, but I want to make you understand in this through my paper there, and so there are many. This is my personal point of view. I'm sharing with you. This is my personal point of view, and from my personal experience that I have observed, and loudly speaking or loud lecture. That is what we say. And if we speak it in a very that is fluently. That is fluently, and if we speak fluently in the class. If we speak fluently in the class, but in Bangladesh perspectives, the students do not know how to speak English, do not know how to develop English. And but India is different case from Bangladesh. In your country, even school teacher can speak English fluently. School teacher in your country. So I have gone to India for two times, and I have seen that. I have seen that school teacher can speak English very fluently, but if you look at in Bangladesh, even the university teachers cannot speak English in the class. And my suggestion is that as an English teacher, and when I was teaching, or when I was speaking English, when I was speaking English fluently, when I was speaking English fluently in my class. And most of the students, and what can I say? And they did objection. They did objection to the concerned authority against me. Okay. He is speaking English in the class, but we do not understand anything. But I was mentally upset about their objections to the higher authorities. And the authority called me, and why you are speaking English in the class? So, as an English teacher, it is my duty to speak English.
Obviously.
Of course, as an English teacher in my class, it is my duty to speak English. But whenever I speak fluently or loudly, they do not understand anything about my lecture. In this sense, Bangladesh perspective, I am sharing the loudly speaking in the class should be avoided or ignored.
So you wanted to say fluently speaking in the class.
Yeah. So politely and very slowly, so that weaker students, based on the
Okay.
considering the weaker, we must speak very in Bangladesh perspective. I'm not talking about Indian perspective. Bangladesh perspective. I am mentioning this kind of word.
Okay. Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
Thank you.
You have
Thank you
given
for
us a
your
very wonderful insight about the Bangladesh.
thank you for your good suggestion. Thank you for your good suggestion. I will keep it mind. I will keep it
Thank you,
mind.
sir. Thank you so much, sir, for enriching my knowledge. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Thank you
Over
very
to you,
much.
Ravinder. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, any other questions from the audience side, or shall we move further to the next plenary session?
Okay.
So I guess there are no more questions in the chat box also. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Amir Hussain sir, for such a
Of,
wonderful.
of course. Thank you for your time and for give me a chance to say something on my topics. Thank you,
Pleasure is all ours, sir.
Thank you, all of
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you very
Pleasure
much.
is all ours. Thank you.
Thank you very much.